Hey friends, community. Hope everyone's staying safe and well in quarantine land wherever you are. My name is Christopher Tse. I'm a spoken word poet and social worker, originally from Vancouver, BC. But right now I'm actually live recording this from day 22 of my quarantine in a hostel in Cusco, Peru, where I've been living and working for the last 4 months. So much love to the folks at friends.ca for reaching out and supporting artists in a tough time for everyone, and we appreciate y'all showing love to the work we're trying to put out there. And thanks to everyone for tuning in and watching. The piece I wanted to share with everyone today is one of my older pieces, but I think it's particularly relevant right now given the backlash against Asian folks globally that we've seen due to COVID-19. And I want to take an opportunity to say thank you to all the allies who have stepped up in solidarity with our community. And I think this is a reminder to us as Asian Canadians, Asian Americans, folks in the diaspora, that today it's us, but tomorrow it's going to be someone else, and we need to answer the call when we need to step up in solidarity with other communities. You might hear some background noise. It's raining pretty hard, and I'm in the common area of the hostel, but it's quarantine. We do what we can, right? So thanks again for watching. This poem is a poem I wrote for my father years ago. And it's called Jobs. I hate how these immigrants come to our country and take our jobs, he was saying to his friend, pointing to me and Hardeep and Unji as if we don't understand. Now he steps up to my till. And I want to grab him by his greasy undone collar. I want to slam him against the wall and pound his bigot face into the ground before telling my father came to this country as a 17-year-old, fresh-faced and scrawny and yellow and immature. He worked at a Chinese restaurant during the day, burning his arms on the wok and scarring his hands in flames before sprinting 5 blocks to Concordia University, where he attended classes he never had time to study for anyway. Night times meant McDonald's, where he scrubbed the floors for petty change before retiring to the back of a 1972 Firebird. All Pontiac power and American muscle and shiny motivation in order for him to make it in this new nation, my dad would need to one day live in more than just a car with no windows. Now 4 years and so much pain later, my father graduated from university with his degree, instantly packing his bags and leaving the east for the greener grasses of BC. I love the oceans here, my father once told me, because I feel like if I get on a boat and float, one day I'll float back to the place where I first became, to the place where my race survives and thrives, that place that I forced this memory to erase to make a new life for myself here in Canada. And I love the mountains here, my father once told me, because they remind me to always keep climbing. Now my father's face is lined with pain. His wrinkled arms bear burns and scars that scream pain but whisper desire. His tired eyes belie a fire that still burns within, yearning to escape and meet revenge on the white boys in college who told him a chink would never make it. His hair is gray beyond his ears, a result of fears that held him jailed, tears from classes failed. This is the image of a man who embodies the working immigrant, who came here with nothing to make himself something, all the while giving everything he has to a country that's barely given anything back. And this is the image of a man who eked out a living while living in an old sports car, working hard at the jobs that offer a little more than minimum wage and labor scars, taking the slow rumble of the passing trains as motivation, reminding him that those who built this nation were Chinese just like him, the yellow-bellied victims of exploitation. And still today they exploit Asians, regulating, berating, and hating Asians. So when the train finally slowed down and pulled into the station, my father found peace remembering those who came before him. Now, my dad's one of those old school sort of immigrants, sort of immigrant who still believes success is found on your knees, scrubbing floors and clipping weeds. Sort of immigrant who never scolded me for tagging school buses, but would beat the crap out of me for getting a 78 on my grade 10 chemistry. Honestly, now see, maybe now I realize my father never came to my basketball games or my races or my shows, no. Instead, he just chose to sit at home reading the paper, and when I walked through the door, he just asked, hey, how'd it go? And when I brought home my trophies and my medals, all he ever said was, well done, son. For me, that's a memory of a man who came from nothing into something, because the one day that I brought him a $50 bonus from McDonald's for being employed the month, my dad ripped that check out of my hand fast so I could blink and said, we're gonna frame this. What about those, I said, pointing to my trophies. Those? Those make you an athlete, he said. This makes you my son. This poem is for the Filipino housekeeper. It's for the Korean corner store owner, the Jamaican truck driver. For the Ukrainian security guard and the Tamil construction worker, this poem is for the rundown immigrant who works a rundown job for rundown pay to make sure his kid's life is more than just run down. So this poem is for my father. This poem is for his scars. And this poem is for that man at McDonald's. I'm sorry I took your job.